Welcome to the Behind the Bands, a show where we bring you a closer look at musicians and artists performing in the 4 states. And today we have Delaney Ann.
Hi.
Who is on tour as part of the Synapse Star Search Tour and made a quick stop to perform here at Missouri Southern State University. Delaney is an 8th-generation Texan, and her music embodies the spirit and resilience of her heritage, adding depth to her already rich musical narrative. So let's kick things off by listening to Delaney performing This Ain't Country Club.
He got that belt at the Buckle Barn. He loves Morgan Wallen and the Broadway bars. He loves Tacovas and that ain't wrong. But he's one-shotting and his accent's gone. Tips his hat like the real deal. Only steer he knows is on a wheel. That beer he's drinking, it's imported. He said I'd know his daddy's real important. If he's Texas, must be Austin. If he's drinking, then he's buzzed. He's a dime store cowboy. If there ever was, he can't name a Jerry Jeff song. No Texas in his blood. He's a proud member of the This Ain't Country Club. He's seen all of Yellowstone. He loves nicotine, he don't dip or smoke. That means he vapes, by the way. He'll say howdy ma'am on that first date, then put ketchup on his steak. If he's Texas, must be Austin. If he's drinking, then he's buzzed. He's a dime store cowboy. If there ever was, he can't name a Jerry Jeff song. No Texas in his blood. He's a proud member of the This Ain't Country Club. Now he's ordering a glass of wine, and his manicure looks better than mine. Said that he's some big shot banker. He got lost on 14 acres. If he's Texas, must be Austin. If he's drinking, then he's buzzed. He's a dime store cowboy. If there ever was, he can't name a Jerry Jeff song. No Texas in his blood. He's a proud member of the This Ain't Country Club.
And we are back with Delaney Ann. How are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, I'm great. I'm here, so I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited for
fun.
you being here with me. So we're going to start off with, when did you get your start in the music industry?
You know, I really started when I was about 10 years old. I picked up a guitar at age 9, and I started writing songs, and I lived in Dallas-Fort Worth area at the time. And there were open mic nights everywhere, and I started playing in bars. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Great parents and great supporters. But they, yeah, I got to start playing in open mic nights and bars, and quickly after that just started gigging anywhere and everywhere that anyone would let me sing. I mean, I was bringing my guitar to the grocery store. Like, my mom was like, Delaney, you can't bring the guitar to the grocery store. So, yeah, I've been doing this a long time. I'm 25 now, and so I've luckily had a couple years at it, and it's been just the best thing I've ever done.
So earlier when we discussed, you did mention you don't come from a musical family, so why did you choose music?
Yeah, no, both my parents, my mom says I only play the radio. She really is like not musical whatsoever. And my dad, huge music fan, but can't carry a tune to save his life. But he actually got a guitar given to him by his aunt in the 80s. And he had never played it. It was dusty. I found it one day in the basement, and in the guitar was a little book that had chords and how to play them. And I started reading it, and I started putting it together, and I said, wow, these kind of sound good together. And, you know, I just couldn't put it down. So I think it was almost like fate.
So you just so the guitar was like your main instrument so far.
Yes.
Do you play other instruments as well?
Yeah, I play the piano as well. I'm trying to learn other things, but right now guitar and piano are kind of the only things I do well enough to claim it.
All right. So at the age of 13, you released a debut called Fingers Crossed. Can you explain how that experience was like?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I saved up my babysitting money, dog sitting money, because I was like, I want to put a song or a couple out on, back then, it was buying songs on iTunes, right? We didn't have all this streaming yet. And I was writing songs about boys in math class and all that good stuff, the things that you think about when you're 13 years old. Yeah. And I got to, I would come home from 7th grade and I would go to the studio and I would spend 4 or 5 hours there, and I'd hand them my cash that I got from my babysitting money and my gigging money and my dog sitting money, and paid for my first EP and put it out, and it actually did as well as, way better than I thought it would go, because I was 13 and you just never know what's going to happen.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so then how would you describe your music style for our audience?
Yeah, I'm definitely a Texas country artist. That's where my roots are as an 8th generation Texan. It's in my blood. But really, first and foremost, I am a songwriter, and I really only sing because I want to tell my stories, and I want to help people relate to, things I've gone through, and I really like to tell really honest stories and honest songs. So I think more than anything, my style is like honesty.
Country does have a good power to like influence a lot of people and stuff.
Yeah.
So who were some of your influences?
Ooh, so many. The person who first got me started was definitely T Swizzle. She really got me in the game. I was always so inspired by her ability to like put people's names in songs and things like that. So she was definitely inspiring as a songwriter. And today I love people like Caitlin Butts is a Texas country gal that's just crushing it on Texas radio right now. And I'm also inspired by a lot of my friends and people that I get to work with. Andrew Salgado, who you'll get to chat with. He's awesome, an awesome songwriter and mentor to me. So, yeah, I'm really blessed to have gotten to meet a lot of my people that I look up to. And, yeah, definitely inspired by a lot of people.
All right, that's good. Okay, so we listened to This Ain't Country Club. What motivated you to write that song?
Yeah, so I grew up with, my grandfather was actually just nominated and inducted into the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, he is a very legit cowboy. He is as real as it gets. So I grew up watching him. My grandfather on the other side was a real life cowboy too. Both sides of my family just really into ranching. And so I grew up watching my family haul cattle and, working on the ranch and fixing fences. And, I moved to Nashville and I said, there's a lot of boots here.
Yep.
There's a lot of hats
going
here.
down there.
And there's not a lot of cowboys. So I kind of had to write it, out of love. It's a fun song, but needed to take them down a notch,
You gotta expose them a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you do, you write most of your songs. When you perform, do you usually do just originals or do you do covers as well?
I'll definitely do some covers. Like I said, my main thing is wanting to tell my story, but I do love a good cover. I love getting to interact with an audience and have them, I'm not big enough yet that people know all the words to all my songs. So I'm like, if I can do something that everybody wants to hear, and then I get to say, also, I wrote this, you should check this one out. That's kind of how I do it.
So this next song we're actually going to listen has a deep meaning. So when we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit about that, but we're going to go ahead and take a listen to Glass Ceiling.
Okay, cool.
All right. So here's Delaney Ann with Glass Ceiling.
They said go out and dream big, don't settle in this town. The world is wide open and it ain't slowing down. Wishing on those stars and following your heart, you'll make it there. Those bedtime stories, they left out this one thing. That little girl, they put a deadline on her dreams. Well, I guess I don't have all the time I used to think. Oh, I wanna break that glass ceiling. Well, I hear whispers and rumors, I know what they say. She just might make it with that pretty face. Running out of time in the spotlight, oh, what a shame. Those bedtime stories, they left out this one thing. That little girl, they put a deadline on her dreams. I got the time, and anybody thinks. So watch me break that glass ceiling. And that little girl with all the posters on her wall, she dreamed of hers up there, but looked around and saw an uphill climb, a never-ending fight. If she makes it to the top, she'll break that glass ceiling and watch it drop. But those bedtime stories, they left out this one thing. That little girl, they put a deadline on her dreams. Well, I've got more time left than anybody thinks. So watch me break that. Oh, watch me break that. Oh, watch me break that glass ceiling. They said go out and dream big.
And that was Glass Ceiling. So Glass Ceiling has a deeper meaning and is part of actually a documentary. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what is the song about?
Yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of a documentary we're filming right now called Women Behind the Lyrics. It features 4 female artists and kind of our struggles and triumphs in the music industry. Some of the other girls on there with me are Sarah Harrelson, Judy Pastor, and Wendy Moten from The Voice. And they've all become dear friends. So it's been a blast, and this song was actually chosen to be the theme song for the documentary, which was super, super exciting.
All right, so what would you say are some of the challenges women face, mostly obviously, of course, in the country genre, but what other genres, what would you say are some of the challenges?
Yeah, I think there's been so many times I look around in a room while doing my job and just thinking, I just realized I am the only female here. I'm the only girl on this stage, or I'm the only girl in this studio. So I think what it's really about is having our voices heard, and I think the more awareness we can bring to this, the easier it's going to be. It's really for us about thanking the women that have paved the way for us and trying to pay that forward for the future women that are coming up in the next generation wanting to write songs. So.
Yeah, even though things have changed, it still gets kind of hard for women to actually still be up there.
For sure.
So what were some challenges you faced in this industry?
Yeah, I think it can be really hard to have your voice actually heard. I think a lot of times it's easy to get spoken over, or your opinion's not taken as seriously, especially as a young girl in the music industry, But at the end of the day, you have to say, I'm the artist and this is my craft, and, for example, this is how I want my song to sound, and no, I don't want to put that in it. Sometimes it's just about standing your ground, even if it's not the easiest thing to do, all while being kind and respectful to everyone and their time and their talent. But I think, especially as an artist, you have to know what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's true. So you actually worked with the producer that worked with Jelly Roll and Lainey Wilson. What's that experience like working with a producer that's already worked with big names like that?
Yeah, I got to work with the incredible Grady Saxman on the St. Country Club, and you just walk in the studio and these guys are pros. I mean, these musicians lay down these tracks like that. They are so so good at what they do. So yeah, I mean, that was a huge accomplishment and exciting thing for me to work with some of the best musicians in Nashville.
Well, congratulations on that too. 'Cause
Thank
that's a
you.
big step.
Thank you, yeah.
So this next song you will perform for us is called "Wish You Were Here." Can you tell us about what that song's about?
Yeah, so something else about me that I do always like to talk about is I am a military spouse. My husband's in the Army, so that definitely comes with its own whole world and its own challenges. You know, he's done a 9-month deployment, and I wrote this song during that time just about how simple the sadness was of I wish you were here, you know?
It is true. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take a listen to that song
Cool.
then. All right, here's Delaney Ann with "Wish You Were Here."
I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I don't want to cause a scene. I thought when you saw the world, it would be right next to me. I wish you were here. And I know the life I've chosen, I know it's worth its weight. I'm staring at the postcard you sent me today. I wish you were here. We watch God paint the sky and turn it all red. Now I close the window and sleep on your side of the bed. I'm counting down the days and holding back the tears. But I just wish you were here. I've been sleeping in your sweatshirt so you feel less far away. But that postcard on the fridge, it taunts me in the cruelest way. I wish you were here. We watch God paint the sky and turn it all red. Now I close the window and sleep on your side of the bed. I'm counting down the days and holding back the tears. But I just wish you were here. Well, I'd rather miss you than not have you at all. Lord knows what I'd give for 5 minutes in your arms. My sunrise is your sunset. I haven't got the hang of missing you yet. We watch God paint the sky, turn it all red. Now I close the window and sleep on your side of the bed. I'm counting down the days and praying through the fear. 'Cause I just wish you were here. Oh, I just wish you were here. And I just wish you were here.
And we are back. So you mentioned being married, being a military spouse. How is it like balancing the spouse life and trying to be a music artist?
Honestly, it is one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I'm so grateful even more to him for all that he's done. But I think, you know, trying to balance me being on the road all the time, him being gone all the time, it can be a lot, to say the least. But I think I've been very inspired musically by it. I have a lot of military spouse friends that are a huge support to me, and they're always saying, hey, can you write some military songs where, you know, that aren't a breakup song or where they don't die in the end? They're like, can you just write something for what I'm going through? Because there's a lot of women out there that don't have any music about this experience.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put some of that out there in the world.
To kind of reach in, like, more into that, because that's what song's supposed to be, really,
Right.
is how you're feeling and what you want to feel kind of thing.
Totally.
So when writing your songs, do you stick to a certain theme or do you like writing just a little bit of what you can at that point?
Yeah, I really just like to write what's happening. It's almost like my best songs come when I am just overwhelmed by something that is consistently happening in my life, whether good or bad, where I'm just like, this experience and this emotion is getting to a point where I'm like, wow, I'm really noticing this theme or pattern. And for me, that's often, military things I'm noticing, or definitely writing a lot about my family heritage, Texas roots. Like, I really like writing along those themes, and I'm currently working on a Texas album, but we can talk more about that.
All right, sounds good. So, of course, you mainly travel or tour to perform like you are for, here today for us. How do you, some of your songs have like more other instruments, how do you go about choosing which artists to perform with, or or picking an artist to join you, I guess?
Yeah, touring is one of the most exciting things we do. I think getting out there and getting to actually see faces and see people singing along to your songs is really what we do it all for. And God knows we need more and more live music these days. As far as like picking how we get out there and who we perform, I'm really lucky to have a team that helps me do a lot of that. I'm lucky to have bookers that can help me get out there and network and meet the right people.
You get that contacts kind of.
Yeah, it kind of helps.
All right, so for our audience that want to know more about you or know about future events on the road, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me. I hang out a lot on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Okay.
All of those are at Delaney, DELANEYANN Music, Delaney Ann Music, or on my website, DelaneyAnn.com.
Okay. Do you have the streaming, like the
Yes.
music streaming sources?
Yep,
as
I'm
well?
on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the things.
They can always find you. All
Yeah.
right. So what would you say are some of your biggest accomplishments as a musician so far?
Ooh, that's such a great question. Honestly, I think some of my biggest accomplishments aren't what you would think. I think some of my biggest accomplishments are when people come up and say, that's exactly what I've been feeling and couldn't put it into words.
Yeah.
Or when I get a message on Instagram saying, this song changed my life, this song got me through deployment, this song got me through XYZ. I think those are the biggest accomplishments. If you want the bio on paper, probably opening for Dwight Yoakam or things like that have been huge. But really, at the end of the day, it comes down for me to making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, and like as I mentioned earlier, songs when I listen to music, that's what I kind of expect too. Like
Yeah.
they sang somehow what I was feeling, and it does help a lot. It does help mentally and emotionally as well.
For sure.
So, of course, what's an advice you would give to other women that are hoping to join this industry as well?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I think I wish I had known when I first started that, there's going to be people along the way that are going to tell you that you need to, be a certain way or act a certain way to get to the top. But in reality, I truly believe at the end of the day that kindness and leaving behind a legacy of being really, really good to people is what will actually get you far. It will be tempting along the way to take shortcuts, but I think hard work and kindness are really, truly what will get you there. And just write songs, have fun. Don't take it all too seriously. And I think also as musicians, we have to remember to still live life. If you don't have a life you're living, you're gonna have nothing to write a song about.
That's true.
We can get so sucked into the industry that we're in that we forget to live life to make the music, So I think all those things are important.
Well, those are good. Those are good advice. I mean, I like them too, and that can also go for just anything
Any
in general.
industry. Yeah.
So I like it. So thank you so much. So we do have one more song called 232.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about that song?
Yeah. So this song is actually really, really special to me. It just came out on streaming platforms. And little plug. And it's about a county road in the middle of Texas, middle of nowhere, and it's down a county road. And it's where our little family farm is, and it is the most special place in the entire world to me. My grandfather got the land back in 1984, so it's 3 generations now passed down, and the song is really just about the lessons and life lived on that land more than anything, and realizing that a family ranch really isn't about business or anything else. Really, it comes down to being a place for family and So I had to write a special theme song, and all the people that live down 232 were like, woohoo,
Yeah,
we love this song.
that's us right there. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Delaney, for giving me the opportunity to interview you and performing for us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
All right, so we're going to leave you guys with one more song from Delaney, and here's 232. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.
Home's where the heart is. Mine's never been attached. I hit 232. Those old railroad tracks, a dirt road with potholes. Suddenly, I swear I'm a kid again. My handprint in concrete are next to my sister's. It's been there too long for us to remember. We grew up past those doors, acres they bought back in '84. If home's where the heart is, mine's on that front porch, just like my dad and like his dad before. If I ever get lost, I know just what I'll do. I'll find my way back down to 32. Sat by the fire and we flipped through old memories. He told us some stories about our family history, a county road and ranch, bringing me right back to who I am. And I really didn't get it for most of my life, all those days in the sun fixing what he could find. I think now I do. He left more than land down to 32. If home's where the heart is, mine's on that front porch, just like my dad and like his dad before. If I ever get lost, I know just what I'll do. I'll find my way back down to 32. Well, times sure are changing, but not out in Grimes. I swing open that gate and go back in time. If home's where the heart is, mine's on that front porch, just like my dad and like his dad before. If I ever get lost, I know just what